ASSETTO FIORANO package. Freaking awesome. It delivers plenty of power there at the top of the rev range. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at the Ferrari 296 GTB with the ASSETTO FIORANO package, which means that this is, well, the 296 is already an incredible car. It is super exciting, it's fast, it drives incredibly well. The hybrid tech adds to the experience. And then if you want to go one step further, if you want to track your car a lot, or if you just want certain options that you normally can't get, you can only get some things on the ASSETTO FIORANO pack, then you go for this package, which costs around 25 to 30,000 euros, depending on where you are in the world. And you get a little bit of carbon fiber exterior, a little bit of carbon fiber interior, and you get some cool parts that you cannot have on a regular one. So today I'm going to show you around this 296 GTB, which is for sale at Thijs Timmermans. Massive thanks for letting us have a go in this car. Of course, if you are interested in a 296 GTB, this spec is amazing with this black and yellow, and it is also one of the few for sale right now with the carbon fiber wheels, which are 40% lighter than the regular ones. So make sure you check out this one if you're interested, or check out Thijs Timmermans in general, because he always has some cool cars for sale. So let's have a walk around. After that, I'll drive it towards the Autobahn for the Autobahn blast. Now let's start at the front, where you get a little bit of extra carbon fiber for more downforce. So I'm not sure if that part is also part of it, of the ASSETTO pack, because there are some things you can also spec on a regular 296. Apparently, if you spec all the exterior carbon, you're already almost at the ASSETTO FIORANO price. So, you know, depending on what you're going to use the car for, it might be wise to check that option anyway, the ASSETTO pack. You do get this little winglet here in the front bumper, which looks super cool for additional downforce, because it's basically a track pack. That's what it's for. This livery is also specific to the ASSETTO FIORANO pack and is a reference to the 250 Le Mans livery, which is very nice. It's a beautiful car. I think it looks stunning in this black. I love the fenders, both front and rear. They have a nice arch to them, which gives the car sort of a classic look as well. It's slightly, maybe even Ford GT40 from the A-pillar back, like this. It's kind of GT40-ish, which is really cool. Wheels, while we're here, let's check out those carbon fiber wheels. That is just gorgeous. Absolutely love this design as well. It fits the car really well. Apparently there's a coating on the inside that protects the wheel from the heat coming from the carbon ceramics, which are behind that. Absolutely massive discs. This is a 245 section front tire. It's not that wide, and Ferrari chose that because it gives you a more agile front end. McLaren also does that. And we have Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires on it today. These are 20-inch wheels at the front. You do get Cup 2R Michelins on the ASSETTO FIORANO pack. However, I can imagine that if you want to drive this car on the street, a 4S might be a little bit better. You know, when it rains, a Cup 2R is not fun, I can tell you from experience. So, also, I don't think I can, you know, you cannot see that from here, but it also gets Multimatic dampers, the ASSETTO FIORANO pack, which is, I think, manually adjustable for road and track settings, and it is based on the suspension they use on the GT race cars. Little side skirt there as well, big air intake here to feed the engine, lovely hips here at the rear as well, with a beautiful arch. Absolutely love that. At the rear we've got 305 section tires on a 20-inch wheel, so a little bit more rubber. And then you also get this yellow rear end with the central placed exhaust, and you also get a different diffuser, some kind of active flap going on here on the ASSETTO FIORANO pack, which gives you 360 kilos more downforce. So that is the aero parts are really meant for track driving, which is nice. The engine is over there. Oh, of course, can open that by clicking that. And then I can lift this, which I think this is part of it as well. Or is it that bit? I don't know. You're supposed to get a Lexan rear window basically, but I don't think it's this one. I think it's that one, which saves a little bit of weight, because it also saves 15 kilos of weight, this package, down to some interior carbon and a little bit of sound deadening that has been deleted. You also get the V6 down there. It is really low in this car. You can just see the red valve covers over there. It's a 120 degree V6, 663 horsepower, and then 167 from the electric motor. Total 830 horsepower, 740 newton meters, and it is glorious. This engine is just incredible. It feels super rev happy. Max torque is at 6250 RPM, so it really pays off to rev it out, to chase that red line. Glorious, absolutely glorious. It is much more exciting. It is a much more exciting powertrain than the V8, which is really good. You know, an F8 Tributo is an amazing car, super fast and very capable, but this powertrain feels much more exciting. So that's, you know, still the same. You don't get any extra power for the Assetto FIORANO pack. Those wheels, as I said, 40% lighter than the regular forged wheels you get on a 296. I don't know the exact weight, but I would think that normally you would save, well, at least 20 kilos with a carbon wheel set, which is great. 12 kilos is shaved off by using these carbon fiber door panels, which is also absolutely gorgeous. And then you get the Assetto FIORANO badge down there. And we have these incredible carbon bucket seats. Super, well, they are not very comfortable, but they look amazing, and it is like a proper racing seat, and you can adjust it properly, so you even have height control electrically, and the seating position is actually very good. Other than that, the interior, you know, you get some Alcantara bits, but that is basically it. Carbon shift pedals here, carbon steering wheel as well, which is gorgeous, and then of course you have the key, which is amazing, and slides right in there, which is very convenient. So let's start it up. We are in hybrid mode, which means that if I start it up, goes to electric mode. As you can see down there, we have 17 kilometers of electric driving left. Should be around, I don't know, 25, 30. And it is very nice if you have like a zero emission zone in a city, then you can use that. Or if you have to leave quietly, something like that. But if we hit performance mode, the engine starts up, as you can hear. Sounds really good. And then we hit that button for qualifying mode, which is like the most aggressive setting, deploying the V6 and the battery power at the same time. First gear for the dual clutch 8-speed, which is also great. And then we'll go to race. So it is an experience, this car. It really is. There's an immediacy and an urgency to this drivetrain. Turbo blow off, very loud as well. We'll go to manual mode. But the way this thing deploys its power is ridiculous. The amount of traction that you have with those big rear tires, of course, those 305s, but I mean, mainly, let's be honest, mainly it's Ferrari electronics that is, you know, it's mainly Ferrari electronics that make you feel like an absolute legend, because it's managing that power so well that you can just put your foot down. And even though we are in race mode, I can also go to CT off, second gear. See, you have a little bit of wheel spin, but it manages it so well, and so it's such a natural way. It is, oh, it's ridiculous. It really is It's a mega complex car. You know, you have the powertrain with that hybrid power, and there's so much going on with the active aero, and this car is just, it's one big active changing computer thing, but it feels nothing like that. It doesn't feel complex. It just, it feels natural. It feels balanced. It's crazy. And the fact that you have those carbon wheels and this suspension just means that it is, it's so darty, and again, it's not, it doesn't feel unnatural like some earlier Ferraris that had like a really quick steering rack, and it could feel a little bit daunting, a little bit too quick for my liking, at least. And it felt like it was not natural. This is perfect, and I believe that this is also the first time that they used electric power steering even, so they've done a really good job on that. So what the Assetto FIORANO pack adds is just a level of sharpness even above what it already is, which is already amazing, but it adds another layer of feedback and feel, which is just amazing. And you know, the carbon wheels, apart from the functional aspect of it being so much lighter, being unsprung and rotating mass, they just look freaking awesome. And you're just a big ass player if you have this. Okay, so launch control. Oh, that is so quick. The gearbox is also so quick. The response to the pedal is crazy. Man, it's also very torquey. So of course you have that initial electric boost. So even though you have a turbocharged engine, it doesn't feel like that. Because the revs, with the revs, the power also keeps rising, so it feels more like you're driving a very powerful, naturally aspirated engine. It also manages the power beautifully. So I put it back in race now for the Autobahn, and the way it just, you know, feathers basically the power, so I don't have too much wheel spin, is just amazing. Okay, so you just hit the throttle. It's so crazy. 270 in the blink of an eye. That's such a ridiculously quick car. Top speed is 330. And again, now you can hear what I mean, you know, with those revs rising. It feels like it pays off to do this, and it does pay off, because it delivers plenty of power there at the top of the rev range. And in that aspect, it's better than the V8. It really is. Little bumps here. Oh, that's actually very good. It's very composed as well. It's very firm, but it doesn't upset the car. All these little bumps and stuff, which is great. Yeah, they called this engine during the development the little V12, and I get that. Also, what I just said, you know, it feels like it has enough torque down low because of that electric motor, that it feels like a very healthy, beefy, naturally aspirated engine, because it also delivers the power, well, not that way, but similarly. I think in that aspect as well, it does feel a little bit like a tiny V12. It's quite busy today. Oh, put down 6th gear, 250. What the hell? It has so much. It has so much reserve. Thank you. Just ridiculous. How the hell did they do this? It is honestly one of my favorite Ferraris of the last 20 years. It's exhilarating to drive. It is so capable, and at the same time it feels old school and modern. It's incredible. And with this ASSETTO FIORANO pack, it makes it feel even more special. With that livery, I like the specialness it adds. The exclusivity of it is also good, of course, and those carbon wheels, I mean, you have to have those. That's just easy for me. You need to have the carbon wheels. So if you're interested in a 296, well, if you're interested in a proper supercar, firstly, you need to drive a 296. Secondly, this one is amazing. So go check out Thijs Timmermans. Massive thanks for letting us have a go again in this awesome car. To you, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.